I just post, or I'm just posting this video because of something my daughter said, and and I pray for God to give us justice. He is a just God. He believes in justice. Um, Saint Paul writes a lot about Jesus' mercy and his tolerance and his forgiveness and his grace. But there's a just side of him as well. How he addresses religious zealots who are hypocrites, who don't see the value of Scripture beyond face value, a fundamentalist reading. They don't see beyond that. And they don't see how things can be applied differently. Sits in Laban. How do we apply this mitzvah within this particular situation? Or how do we consider grace within this particular situation? They don't see that. And so he doesn't hold the punches on them. Or uh, I was just mentioning the whole thing about child predators, because the things that have happened in my family, and a lot of things have damaged my children, their attitudes. It's hurt them, sometimes made them sad, other times, harmed their development, other times interfered in their relationship with me. One of my daughters still, somebody has inserted their way into our relationship, and they relay messages. They control her social media. Um, it's not her mother. It's a troublemaker. And I've had other people hack her before. This isn't the first time, but this is the first time that they've known her or sought her out, one of the two. Maybe they're paying her, I don't know. But these are traffickers. These are bad people. We've been surrounded with various kinds of criminal element, um, sadists, human traffickers, drug addicts, drug dealers. Um, it's all kinds of really horrible people, unrepentant, unchanged, people who've been in prison, and the only reason they're not going back is because now they can make money by causing trouble, targeting people. Um, these are the kind of people we've been surrounded with for 8 years. And this post is going to be a lot shorter, but one of our fur friends got in the video, and I don't allow my children or my daughter here or my animals in videos. Just me. And not because I'm a narcissist, it's just because I have a rule about protecting people in social media. And, but these things have harmed my children. And, Jesus, he didn't have any soft feelings for people that harm children. You refer back to the passage of the millstone around somebody's neck who would harm a child. The millstone. I've spent a long time in Asia, so I've seen millstones. We mill our rice and our corn at a couple of places that still have rock, actual millstone that's made out of rock. Not all of them are metal. And you're talking things that are, about as big as a John Deere combine tractor tire. A combine tire. That's how big some of these things are. And imagine putting that around a child predator's neck, somebody who's harmful. Not just, not just not just one kind of predator. There's different kinds. And, multiple ways that people out there, target and hurt children. And, it could be a cruel teacher. It could be the creepy person on the corner. It could be, that bully that always plays in that city park and steals kids' money. There's different kinds of predators. But just consider a predator with that tractor tire around their neck, or no, wrapped around their neck, leather, some kind of leather, connector, and then thrown into the sea. That's a powerful statement. And so I think that that the Lord wouldn't like people that just shrug their shoulders at things that hurt children. I really think. I think there'd be fire in his eyes. St. Paul's writings, what he went through, that incredibly emotional, life-changing experience. He had a implosion of grace, and it changed how he looked at the world. And he also had guilt. I mean, he killed early Messianic believers. He killed them. And Gentiles, that were crossing the boundaries into Judaism without proper conversion, he killed them. Or put them in prison, or both. And so his implosion of grace, when it filled him, it broke a lot of his change and a lot of his attitudes. So he was very soft and very loving, and he just, was bound. He was just filled with that fire, that holy fire, to spread the gospel. But there's other side of Jesus too. And he didn't like bad people. Actually, he was quite intolerant of them, telling that, turning their clever statements against him, and not afraid to chastise them in public. So I think he would have words for the people that have done things to my family, especially my daughters. I think he'd have a lot of words. And because today, my daughter, she said her mother, she didn't have a mother. She didn't know what it's like to have a mother because she never had her mother. Because her mother's in another place. She didn't want her, she went with other people. And she said before, a couple of months ago, that she doesn't know what it's like to have a mother, and sometimes it makes her sad because her mother didn't love her. And I mean, it's true, but it's complicated. She doesn't quite understand all the people that have invaded our life. Bad people, the vast majority of them. And I don't know what transpired between her mother and my family, but I don't think I would last as long as I have. I don't know what their silent nod is, but I don't know. But I think that, her always trying to convince me that it's okay for my daughter to go with my brother, my mom, my sister. That's okay. I don't know. And then when she talks about if something happens to me because of my health or something, or, by some miracle, I get a job or get back in the service, which probably won't happen. I probably won't be going back to active duty anytime ever, probably. I mean, but then again, I'm not in control, God is. But, when she tries to set up plans for her daughter to, visit her, or, the paperwork for her to go overseas, other people over there always interfere. So she doesn't have as much control as she wanted. And I know that people involved in our life are traffickers. I know there's people of various kinds of trafficking involved in our life. My daughter and I, everybody makes money on us except us. We live in dire, absolute, disgusting poverty. I apply for a job, or I try to bring back my business or whatever, try to find a way to make extra cash. Somebody will deny it, or they'll get involved and they'll say, no, you can't do that. or they'll just ruin the plan. Always. Like my computer contact center, call center idea. Well, now somebody interfered with my Timu and my Afterpay account, so I no longer have an account anymore. I have to pay off my balance, and then that's it. Somebody ruined it. I had A plus credit rating with Timu. I've never had a problem. I always pay my bills within my grace period. Somebody did something. They always do. Um, People always interfere. And largely I know people from Triple Canopy and Constellus. Some of them, their employees or former employees, targeted me. Don't ask me why. All I ever did is fight for better treatment for people who were left behind. Battle Buddy code, Special Operators code. You don't leave somebody behind. Whether they're wounded or dead, it doesn't matter. We take care of our own. I'm not saying I'm not a special operator. I don't want to claim that. But we soldiers, sailors, Marines, and Coast Guards persons take care of our own. We don't leave people behind. And that includes in the defense industry. So I don't know what their problem is with me. I really don't. I still don't. But I know that people try to do any possible way they can to make me look bad. Anything. If it's negative and they could try to spin it, they will. But it's not just people from the company. And it's a few people from the company. A few. Obviously back here in Michigan, somebody's trying to find every possible enemy they can to stir up anything they can, even if it's not true, or even if it's only partially true, or if they can spin good PR, even if it's not true, just to destroy our life. And it's affected my children. And I believe in justice. We have a just God. I just hope that myself and my children will see it. They'll see justice in this life. And, people try to do anything they can. And, I always try to post videos about this and relate it to what I made the video about. Because this is great evil. This is the devil. And people who are supposedly believers in God are ignoring it. And there's no reason for this evil to happen to me. No reason whatsoever. Anything that's said negative when they go out and they, try to ruin something by going to a store or going to a place I'm applying for, it's always a lie. Always a lie. And they try to stir up as much trouble as they can. Instead of just leaving us alone. And we're surrounded with a lot of these bad people for 8 years in the apartments we've lived. A lot of bad people. And somebody's trying to grab a lot of people from the African American community who have a problem with whites, or offer somebody who's broke, who's African American, offer them money or something like that, just to cause harm to my family and I. And I think that's sad, because who would want to stigmatize in this day in our country, this day and age in our country, as far as we've come, and what we're battling with now in the confrontational culture. Who would want to do that and stigmatize people because of race? But you can't blame everybody within a certain group. The concept of your skin color as somehow defining something about you, I think it's garbage. It's garbage. People are people. You know, you can't assume somebody's culture by how they look. It's stupid. But and you can't assume what somebody's experienced because of their look. You can't assume, oh yeah, oh white guy, white privilege. Oh black guy, yeah, he's been mistreated and probably always targeted by the police and probably abused. You can't target somebody positively or negatively based on their race because it's not always true. So anyway, somebody's trying to do something that's pretty obvious, and I'm just going to keep posting what people are doing. You know, I think the best way this could be solved was within the African American community. People saying, "Hey, look, we know what you're doing in this place. You know, we, me, and all those apartments in that building, we want you gone. We don't want you creating problems against the African American community in Saginaw. So you and your friend over there in the other apartment, we're telling you now, don't renew your lease." That's how you handle things in the community. Just like I did in my community I lived in Flint. Only a couple people on my block, but there was a bordello down the street. So me and other people, we'd call the police when they're standing outside. Crack house across the street. If they're active and they're selling, then the cars are coming, going. All right, we'll call the police. And if we have to, and we get threatened, I used to sometimes stand on my porch with a club, or with a homemade sword. You know, I didn't have a weapon at that time, but actually my landlord told me I should get one, but I'm like, no, I come and go so much, and what about if I deploy? That's a problem. Can't leave it in the house. But because I was single back then. But anyway, that's how you handle things on the neighborhood level. And you know, I just want I want justice for my children. You know, my daughter, you know, her mother, whatever situation she was put in by some backroom deal with my family or people from Michigan, you know, hey, we're going to hook you up, you know, just get rid of him and make sure he goes back home, you know. But in the beginning, I guess we broke up for what, 6 months, and then when she had the baby, this is her second child. Then we were back together for 4 years until 3 years ago when we were evicted, and then somebody started convincing and posting that I didn't really love any of my family, especially in the Philippines, or my kids, and you know, stuff. Oh, I didn't want to go on disability because I don't care about anybody. You know, just all kinds of stuff, spewing venom. Yeah, I'd rather go to school and get degrees and live off graduate student, you know, stipend funds. You know, it's venom. I remade myself so that at 50 years old, I could do a major career change and be successful. And people tried to destroy that, and they did. That social worker from Hadvash and neighbors at a couple of different properties in Saginaw County. And the time will come when I'll be naming names and properties. Because I think what's happened to me, I think people should be held criminally responsible. I think what's happened to my daughter here, people should be held criminally responsible. I can't control in the Philippines, but believe me, if I ever get back there, I'll make sure people are held criminally responsible for what's happened to my family. I will make sure. And then people will always have to deal with the Lord too. But people had no right to do what they've done to us, to destroy us, to interfere in my employment, my finances, to interfere in the development of my child, to interfere in our relationships, to interfere in our religious life. Nobody has that right. To monitor what we do in our house and to post things about us, to record us. Sometimes record us in our house, according to my attorney. To record us when we're out and about, when we go into Saginaw, the city, or the county. We're doing something out and about in the county. Record us, video with a phone. It becomes stalking, the point where you keep training your phone on someone, even in public, and they ask you to stop and you refuse to stop. That's the point. It becomes stalking. Stalking is a crime in the state of Michigan. And if people are posting something to social media, that means that people have criminal intentions. That makes it a felony. And if it happens more than twice, purposely recording somebody, a body cam is different. Body cam is only trained on you when you're talking to somebody. But even then, body cams are visible. And if somebody knows you have a body cam, they can ask you to turn it off unless you're involved, in a law enforcement situation. If you refuse to turn it off, they can just walk away, say, "Get away from me." And if you refuse, again, stalking. And like I said, if you're taking video and you don't have a statement on you that says, "I do not intend to post this in social media," they could make the case that, yep, they're going to post it to social media. They intend to harm my family. Somebody could make that case. And we've encountered a lot of bad people like that. The people that have targeted our family to make my daughter feel like she doesn't have a mother. I told her she has a mother, Our Lady. Jesus' mother is the best mother. There's lots of other great mothers in history, and there's Guan Yin, the Buddhist god of mercy, or the Buddha of mercy. You got Shiva, protector and giver. You have two of Muhammad's wives were exceptionally, gifted and peaceful and loving and compassionate and strong. And then you have people like Esther, you have Sarah, you have Hagar. You have these strong, powerful women who, stand for what's right. They have compassion, but they have strength and courage. So she's not alone. She has a mother. Jesus' mother is the mother of us all. And so I reminded her, you do have a mother. I had a mother off and on, but I had one mother who's always with me, and that was Our Lady. That's why I did the consecration of St. Louis de Montfort. So I would always remember that Our Lady's with me, even when I wander. The past 5 years, we went on a journey because of evil happened to us, and we always knew that Our Lady was there, reminding us, beckoning us, as she always does. Come back, pray, make penance, come back, pray, make penance. That's what she always does. receive the gift and the chalice. These are the kind of things she always says when she appears in different places around the world. Similar images. Make peace, pray for peace. Return to your devotion and your holiness. And so I hope that's consolation for my youngest. But I can't ignore the evil that's happened or whatever was arranged in back rooms and closed doors. And I don't know what the problem is with people from the company, Triple Canopy Constellus. You know, a couple of people, you know, I don't know what their problem is, but I don't know. I don't know what their problem is. You know, they have a good thing going. This is one of the best companies in the world to work for, especially if you're patriotic or you believe in human rights, or you believe in protecting families. I don't know what their problem is. I still don't. But it's a good company. Only company allowing employee purchase of stock options, employee retirement funds, you know, a vision and mission statement that involve, you know, over time integrating ethics in war fighting, ethics in contracting. They were the first to do it. It's a process. And it's a painful process. It has been. They won't admit it, but it has been. But still, nobody else has ever considered that. They started it. Why not be ethical in the workplace? Ethical for your employees. So they're trying. But still, who are these former or present employees? God forbid they're present. Their clearances would automatically be jerked, you know, to cause the problem around here against my family. And associating with people involved with crime? If so, they're not worthy of their clearance. You know? I'm sure if the company knew, they'd be fired automatically. But they're not the main problem. You know, where's the money coming from for these people that are targeting us? And who's recruiting them? And, you know, I know by hacking, that's how they're getting the information now. I have no doubt about that. Through the hacking, simulating, you know, all kinds of stuff, hacking my email. That's how they're getting the information of what we're doing, where we're going, what we're planning. And now that I'm not in school anymore, I won't have any of those stipends. You know, I won't have loan or graduate scholarships. I won't have any of that anymore. So now we're on welfare, so they can keep interfering in, you know, me starting one of my businesses back up. You know, now I have two. I won't have income there. And the third one, well, they know my log cabin lighting design company is very slow because I don't have a lot of money to get the equipment I need. So it's a very slow process. But they try to do anything they can to keep us imprisoned and on welfare. That way we're fully controlled. And all the while, you know, take time with this medical care. Delay stuff. Delay everything as long as you can. You know, he has a specialist consult. Delay it a week or 2 or 3 weeks. Just blame him. Oh, we couldn't get him on the line. It's another thing they're trying to do. Slowly destroy my body. again, apparently people didn't think I would last this long. I expect justice. I pray for the Lord every day to give us justice and to send messengers, believers like us, believers that they believe that hurting families and harming children is unforgivable, and that even if the justice system is ignoring for political or whatever, that there's still another justice. And we American, believers, Catholic, Protestant, we even Jewish, we believers stick together, and we love this country, and we believe that our families in our country deserve justice when they're being targeted, especially veterans. We believe this.